Hey guys, this is the Dutch Ruby Established 2000 here, and today I am going to talk about my plans for the year 2023. But before I do that, I would like to tell you that this video has been brought to you by TV Movie. In this day of age, you can find just about anything on streaming services. However, have you ever gone through the hassle of searching every streaming service you own to find a particular movie or TV show? Well, with TV Movie, you don't have to. All you need to do is input the movie or TV show you want to watch, and TV Movie will tell you which streaming services the movie or TV show is currently on. If it is on a streaming service you have, then you should know where to go from there. If you don't own any of the streaming services listed under it, you can wait until next month or buy a new streaming service if you desire. No more spending so much time looking in all the wrong places. With TV Movie, you can find what you want, where it's available, and in just a short period of time. You can impress your friends with that website and leave them asking, how did you know where it was gonna be? To check out TV Movie, click the link in the description below. Now let's start the video. Now to start, if you listen to the last 2 or 3 minutes of my previous video, you may have noticed that I started to talk about my plans for the upcoming year. But now that we are less than a week away from having that happen, I might as well talk to you about it now. But before we do, I will give you a recap of what I talked about on the last video. On the last video, you heard me talk about my current opinion on Let's Go Luna, and how it had a second season with episodes that are average at best and disappointing at worst. I then moved on to talk about another PBS Kids show, which has a wombat as a main character, but instead of 1, there were 3. And I did that given that the Luna character, Leo, was a wombat himself. The show I have moved on to talk about will be one of the first things I talk about in this video. I told you in the previous video that I will be visiting my dad, my stepmother, and my half-sister Kenzie in Florida in February. To specify when exactly I will visit, which I didn't tell you in the last video, I got a visit date on February the 9th, and it will last until February the 19th. The day before I leave, Kenzie will turn 5 years old. However, as sort of a birthday present, I was largely responsible for getting her excited to watch a new PBS Kids show titled Work It Out Wombats. If you paid attention to the last video, you may have heard me mention that show. Meanwhile, while I get some time with my dad, we can go to the movies and see Magic Mike's Last Dance or Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I will then return to my home and have 4 days to pack for my vacation to Israel and Jordan. On February the 24th, I will visit Israel. I will fly to New Jersey to meet up with my mom and my maternal grandmother, Mimi. 1 week later, I will go to Jordan with Mom and Mimi. To prepare for the vacation, I have been trying to study Hebrew and Arabic. And I would say that I've become more fluent in Hebrew than I have Arabic. I will return home on March the 9th and stay home for a few months, given that I have started to feel a bit homesick after being away from home for almost a whole month. I will readjust to being home for a week or so, and then I will continue to see new movies. I do not have my driver's license yet, but I am working on it. Until then, I have to ask my supported living managers if they can take me to the movies. The movies I will go to see when I'm home include John Wick Chapter 4 in March, and as for April, the Super Mario Bros. Movie will come out in theaters. Boone and I have been excited for that movie for so long now, and we very much know it will be well worth the wait. For May, I will go to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and if I can get caught up on the Fast and Furious movies, I've only seen the first 3 so far, just so you know. Fast X. When June comes, I will go to Michigan with my paternal grandmother, G-Ma, to see my grandpa Kurt and my old babysitter, Denise, or as I used to call her, Niecy. If my mom has authorized leave from the military, then I could possibly meet up with her to see my Grandpa Joe as well. Grandpa Joe, by the way, is my mother's father. There are plenty of movies I can go see that month, including Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Elemental. I may see Transformers Rise of the Beast, given that it is a standalone sequel to Bumblebee, which was a huge improvement over the string of 4 disappointing sequels the Transformers franchise had, namely Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, and The Last Knight. Although I liked Bumblebee, my mom, for some reason, wasn't a huge fan of that movie. I might possibly skip Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, because although I haven't watched it yet, I have heard that Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was a massive disappointment. So I don't know if that sequel may be any good, especially given the fact that Harrison Ford had to be given a digital facelift in order to reprise his role as Indy one last time. Another franchise that I'll have to get caught up on before I turn 23 next year is the Mission Impossible franchise. Given that the subtitle of the upcoming sequel is Dead Reckoning Part 1, it would be nice to see that movie in the theaters and prepare myself for the final installment, which will release in 2024. After my summer vacation, I will go back to Florida in October for 2 reasons. The first reason being that I want to go to the annual Halloween Horror Nights special at Universal Studios Orlando. The second reason is to see Paw Patrol the Mighty movie, and although I am not the hugest fan of Paw Patrol, Kenzie is a huge fan of the show, given that she's 5 years old, or at least will be at the time, and I decided to watch it only to make her happy. I will then return to my home in Virginia, and I will play it by ear for the rest of the year, including plans for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And those were my plans for 2023. Although I definitely may feel like I might get homesick between vacations, I pretty much have a year full of destiny coming my way. This is the Dutch Ruby Established 2000, signing out.